In today's video, we're going to be talking about a massive AEW announcement plus a new signing, sort of, kind of. We're going to talk about that plus some huge TNA news. Welcome back to the Ango Show. We're going to kick things off with Steph DeLander in TNA. This is really interesting to me because we have covered stories like this with TNA, and now it's actually being said, according to Fightful Select, that Steph DeLander is not actually under a TNA contract as of now, which is really interesting. We actually covered when she re-signed with the company, but now it's really strange. I don't know if TNA is on a handshake deal with SDL. I don't know what the situation is, but it is very intriguing, especially considering that right now her and Mance Warner are partnered up on TNA Impact. And obviously, you know, she's got the TNA Digital Media Championship. There's a lot of weird stuff about this. Now, for those who don't know, at the end of 2024, the word basically got out that her contract was essentially done. And since then, she's obviously been back on TV, but nothing has been signed to make it official. This is weird. I don't know. I don't know what's TNA's situation right now. Obviously, one of my biggest complaints about TNA in the past, as much as I love this company and there's so many great things that they do well with, the one thing I don't really understand is why this company hasn't locked down talent at least for a year. I'm not saying, or 6 months, right? Like, you hear of TNA doing more of this, and I just don't understand really why. The reason why I even think it's a concern is because we know that AEW and WWE are signing talent. We see them signing talent. And so for her to be prominently used on television, to be involved in this big angle, and then for them to not have a guaranteed commitment from her, tells me that if AEW or WWE do want to sign her, they could. And that's really the issue here, right? Like, it's not like, listen, for TNA, it's a little bit different than WWE and AEW. They obviously got to be a little bit more calculated with their money. They got to be a little bit smarter with their contracts. You don't really see TNA giving out 5 years, $15 million deals. Like, that's not something you see with TNA. And that's okay, right? They are the smaller company. That's not a problem. But to have these sort of contracts where people aren't guaranteed to be locked down on television, I think this is silly. And I think it's silly anytime we see it in professional wrestling, which when we talk just a little bit about AEW, the same situation is kind of going on there. I don't like it. I don't think that's smart. And it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? And we'll have to see what happens. Does she stay with the company long term? Who knows? That brings us to our next topic. Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd is in AEW, but it's really weird situation, kind of like a Steph DeLander situation with, with her contract, right? Now, for those who don't know, Fightful Select has reported that Gabe Kidd is not technically signed to AEW, but he hasn't signed a new deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Fightful Select has come out and said that Gabe Kidd is being used on a per appearance basis. He has made a good impression, which is basically a 180 from how AEW viewed him before. But as of mid-February, he has not re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So AEW has signed Gabe Kidd to a per appearance contract, and they don't have him locked down, which is very risky. It is very, very risky. And this is not, to me, I don't think it's really the smart thing to do. I mentioned this. There has been so many times where AEW has put people on TV and then they have gone to WWE. Thea Hale, Cora Jade, Fallon Henley, they all came from AEW. They all worked in AEW in the past and then signed with WWE. Nathan Frazier is another one. Ben Carter was his name in AEW, goes to WWE, becomes Nathan Frazier. And on top of that, WWE, if they want to bring in Gabe Kidd, they could. I don't think Gabe Kidd is going to go to WWE, but if you don't have somebody locked down on a permanent deal, if you don't have them locked down, there's no reason why they should be taking up TV time. I'm sorry, but your company has a lot of people signed to it that aren't being utilized. So bringing in these people for per appearance deals, it is just really ridiculous in my opinion. It is something I simply just don't understand. Now, Gabe Kidd is a great talent. And if he signs with AEW, he will do great things there. He will do wonderful things there. I already like what they're teasing between him and Mark Briscoe. So there is something to get excited about. But ultimately, at the end of the day, is it really smart to put people on TV knowing that WWE could potentially go after them? We all saw the Stephanie Vaquer situation. So I think that right there is a clear indication that maybe Tony Khan should have a little bit of a different idea here. Now, if Gabe Kidd was under New Japan and then he's just working AEW thanks to their partnership, this wouldn't be an issue at all. However, because he is not under contract with New Japan, this is Gabe Kidd as a free agent working AEW. And that is why I think it is very risky. I think it is very stupid, but hopefully it works out. He's a great performer, cuts great promos. He's going to probably be a lot better in AEW than WWE just because of the unscripted nature of AEW. Just saying. And that brings us to our next topic. AEW has officially announced that pay-per-views are coming to Amazon Prime. A lot of people are confused about this, so we're going to talk about it. If you have Amazon Prime, you are not getting AEW pay-per-views for free. All this is the fact that AEW pay-per-views will be distributed on Amazon Prime. So if you have a membership for Prime Video, you could spend $50 and watch Revolution. That's the deal. This isn't exclusive, meaning AEW will still be on Triller. They'll still be on payperview.com. And as you guys know, AEW at some point is supposed to be doing pay-per-views on Max. We haven't got that far. Max streaming service has not put out anything that shows that Revolution will be purchasable on their program, on their platform. Obviously, this is a really big concern because obviously AEW and Warner Bros. Announced that pay-per-views would be coming to Max. That hasn't happened yet. Probably won't happen until All In, maybe even after that. However, this is great news. Prime Video, it's another avenue where people could buy the pay-per-views. Does this increase pay-per-view buys? I don't know. I don't think it does necessarily a lot, but it's another platform. I personally love Prime Video. I think it works out extremely well. It's a very safe, reliable streaming app. So personally speaking, I'm cool with this. I like this. I think it's a good move for AEW having their pay-per-view available there. However, if you have Triller, then you're probably just going to pay for it on Triller. If you have, typical cable services, you're probably just going to buy it there. Nobody is going to sign up for Prime Video just to buy this pay-per-view. But if you have Prime Video and you want a pay-per-view accessible on that platform, this is the way to do it. And again, it's a great, reliable service. So I can't imagine too many issues there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.